Hey guys, Mike Patton Shoes. I haven't made a video in a very long time because there really isn't much to update, unfortunately, on this price action. I've been swing spot trading. I've been trying to catch the bottom of altcoins when BTC bottoms are right to the top. But nevertheless, let me show you guys real quick what I'm expecting. I'm playing strictly VWAP strategies. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I have this is a weekly VWAP over here. You see this? Oh, you see this? Sorry. You see this monthly VWAP at $34,000. Put a line here. Name it previous monthly VWAP, right? And put another one over here. I know people don't like pin VWAPs, but I strictly refuse to play any other method. Okay, these are the only three VWAPs that work, that are important to us. So we're technically in this massive range. You could forget about the top part. If this was technically distribution, just forget about this for the time being. And we're gonna be trading between $21,000 and $44,000 for quite some time. And I'll explain to you my theory why. So the whole idea of me wanting to exit at the $44,000 range or $45K was because of the monthly and the quarterly VWAP. Oh, this is Bitstamp. But there we go. Okay. Well, I wanted to talk to you about this. All right, so let's just ignore everything that's on the chart over here and just do what I just showed you. We got a previous monthly view up here, previous monthly view up here. Let's make this a little darker, a little bigger. Okay. Let's get this out of here and let's put this here. Another one is over here, and then another previous monthly view up is over here. Okay. Boom. You got three monthly VWAPs that are important and that are pending and that need to get tapped. So let's just talk about this real quick. Get a box, highlight your range. I really do generally believe that BTC will be trading in this range for quite some time. We're not going to break out and we're not going to break under it. There's a big reason why I wanted to exit the market at $45,000 because it's a quarterly and monthly VWAP that has not been tapped yet. This is a higher time frame perspective, obviously, right? So now this VWAP over here is February's, this one is June's, and this one I think was this January's or December's. Let me see. January's, okay. Right? So there's three VWAPs that need to be tapped. Which one will get tapped first? Well, let's look at it. Zoom out. Weekly. This is by far the first weekly candle that we have closed under the monthly VWAP. Those who know me, in Discord especially, know how obsessed I am with, hey, we only fucking consolidate and range around a VWAP. We're not going to randomly just bounce in the middle of the fucking air. It always comes back to the VWAP. Hey guys, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks above the VWAP. We consolidated here for 5 weeks, and we officially, finally broke under this VWAP. So by all means, unless some miracle takes place this week, which is in 24 hours, because this candle is going to close in 24 hours, and we close this candle above 34, we're fucked. If we close this candle under 34.5, we are fucked. That means there's more downside to come. Now, there is an opportunity or possibility that this might end up being a deviation, where we do happen to deviate, and then this whole thing turns into a deviation. Once you reclaim your VWAP, that should green light to go long and target the next previous VWAP, which is going to be $45,000. That is one way to play it, right? So you're not going to know if this is a deviation or not until it happens. So that's kind of like, how the fuck do you trade like that? You don't. You have to assume that it is a deviation. But I'm gonna give you an example. When I front run deviations on lower time frames, if it happens to be that I'm wrong, the mistake isn't really costly, right? Because you figure it out quickly. It's a low time frame perspective. If you front run a weekly deviation and you're wrong, you're talking about at least a $10,000 or $15,000 move to the downside, right? Assuming that wherever we are, you can't front run a deviation. It's going to be a big mistake, right? If you do happen to make a mistake and say, hey, this weekly is going to deviate, but it doesn't. It's going to dump even further. So the move from this VWAP to this is roughly about another 36%. People that think that it's not going to happen, that's on them. This is basically your range. It's 3 VWAPs. I know that it's highly unlikely that we're gonna just nuke in a straight line, and I'm with you. But taking consideration that once we lose this low that we put in the 22nd of June at 28,700, your next target is this low down here, which is January 3rd low. And then you have this little consolidation over here that might act like a little bit of a bouncy bounce. But the main target is this VWAP down here. Now, because this is kind of annoying, let's grab this little bad boy. Let's make it a little bit thinner. There we go. So you can see, let's make it gray. There we go. That's your range, guys. That's your range. VWAP, VWAP, VWAP. That's it. And then you have your quarterly over here, and then you have a quarterly over here. Now, if you take in consideration what we've done throughout the quarterly VWAPs, this is your quarter before the downtrend, and this is your next quarter before the downtrend right there. Whenever this finishes, right? Whenever the quarter finishes. We have never, ever, ever in the history of BTC closed under the quarterly VWAP when we were uptrending. Ever, ever, ever. And what do we do here? We're about to close under it. There's no way by the time the quarter ends we're going to get back above that unless some miracle takes place, and that'd be the biggest fucking fuckery or fake out in the world, right? To deviate all this, consolidate under the quarterly VWAP and then close back above it. Let me make this very visible for you guys. That's your quarterly VWAP right there, guys. Okay? That green one is your quarterly VWAP. We have never closed under it in an uptrend, which means that we're officially in a downtrend. Even on this end over here, we 2017 top, came back, tested it, we deviated it, went back up, slap, came back down, went back up, lost it. Once we reclaimed it, it's over. It was over. We never went under it ever again after that. Straight up, boom, 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 boom. Now, what do we do? Okay, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. We broke under it. What's even worse is that if you do this strategy with the monthly VWAPs, your mind's gonna be boggled. Let me show you how the monthly looks. Look, we have never closed under the monthly VWAP. Ever, 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 since the breakout. Okay, so we had our breakout over here. Okay, so monthly VWAP, we broke, consolidated, we broke above. So number one, we never broke under it, right? This one was the main consolidation in the summertime. This is the main consolidation that led to the blowout to the top side. COVID, no closes under. So let's start from COVID actually. I started it from the breakout, but let's just start from COVID. No closes under, no closes under, no closes under, no closes under, no closes under. Let's delete all this because it's a mess. I'm trying to give you guys an idea for those who are not interested in fucking this. Hey guys, if this level holds, this level holds, this level holds, fuck that shit. Just think logically, right? It's a very hard market right now. It's very hard. I had to call my old mentor to talk to him. That's how hard this market is. And it's not about, hey, I know that this level is going to hold this level. Listen, everyone's predicting down because all these metrics, bit for next this, bit for next that. Doesn't matter. They're just probably, doesn't matter. Just think about it from the perspective of, if you do not know top end TA, if you don't know top end TA, and you're not trying to watch the charts 24/7 like me. I don't care for the charts right now. I've been doing more stuff on the outdoors than I have inside. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that my TA is above par, you know. And I still reached out to my mentor, my old one from 2 years ago, to ask him, yo, what's going on? Why is this price? I'm getting mixed signals. And he said, just zoom out. Just zoom out. It's like the only thing I could tell you, dude, is Luca, just zoom out. And that's when I went out for a drink with my buddies from Wall Street, and he gave me the idea that, dude, all the hedge funds in the city use a similar VWAP strategy or VWAP algo, right? Where the buys, like for example, if they have like a $30 million buy that needs to be injected into the market, and they do it via desk, the execution is the VWAP. It's not, hey, let me send it to John Joe, and John Joe presses the button and buys market at that time. No, the execution is the VWAP, right? So they protect it, they sell it, and that's it. So they do it. When they protect it, they buy off it. When they sell it, they once it comes to the top, it's a barrier. So I went back and I started testing the VWAPs, and it really does work. It really works. So on an uptrend, we have yet to ever close, right? We broke above it, never went back under it. Broke above it, never went back under it. Broke above it, never went back under it. This one, broke above it. This is your monthly VWAP right here. So we were already above it, right there. We're already above it. Came back down. We didn't really tap it, but it acted like a front run support. Blow off, not blow off, but you know what I mean, dude. A fake out to the top side. This is when the fucking CEO of Coinbase said, "Fuck you guys, I'm selling all my shares," and then died, right? Died. And now, this is the first time ever in BTC's since COVID, 1 year history, rejected the fucking VWAP. This is the first VWAP that got rejected. And what does that tell me? We are officially starting a downtrend. That means that the algo that was pumping us up, that was buying every VWAP, officially will be selling the VWAPs on the way down. So now this guy or this team or this institution or whoever the fuck is doing this, I don't know who it is, Wales or whatnot, has a program in place that indicates that they're going to be selling the VWAPs. So more likely than not, this is going to offer a massive short right here, guys. It's just the logic behind the strategy that I put together, back testing it back down to 2014, 2013. I know that the players now are not the same as they were back then. More sophisticated players, more money now, institutions, a whole different ballgame. I get that. But a VWAP is a fucking VWAP, man. Majority of the volume, majority of the trading takes place at that location, at that area, at that zone. So this is the biggest reason why this area over here was my exit point. I wanted to exit the market at the monthly VWAP, and that was $45,000 right here. So now what do I tell myself? Okay, now since I can't get the monthly VWAP, open up the weekly VWAP. Let's see what the weekly VWAP is. Hold on, right there. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, so now look at the weekly VWAP. Same thing with this, right? So that's what I want to see. The weekly VWAP is like your micro support, even though it's still macro. Your or high time frame, right? Your micro support that leads up to your fucking monthly rejection or your monthly buy-in. So the next buy-in for us right now is, personally for me, I'm just being honest, is $22,000. So yeah, we might get a bounce off of, I think the 3-day had a, let me see the EMAs. Yeah, the 3-day 200 EMA is at $26,000, $26,400. The 2-day 200 MA is at $27,600 over here, right? So obviously, if we lose the low that we put in, something along the lines of this, tap the MA, reclaim the low, you go long, and then you target, first target will be the 34, which was the breakdown, which is valid. But overall, guys, I think we're coming straight for this cluster down here, $23,000. I think that this whole in between is just fucking noise and nonsense, and it's gonna get fucking nuked right through. I can't see us not doing it. Anyway, that is the strategy. I tried to do it over stream. I did like a 4-hour stream last week, and I don't know if people understood it because I might have done it. I don't know because I got a lot of DMs, and I wanted to make it clear that that's how I play. I'm strictly playing VWAP to VWAP. Like I know for a fact that if we lose this VWAP, again, this is a high time frame gameplay. So to you, you might think, oh yeah, we fucking lost it. No, bro, zoom out. Look at the weekly. Look at the weekly, right? This is the first time that we lost it. And that's if we close under here. All these weeks we've been above it, right? It's been fucking beautiful all these weeks, right? And then the next one is down here, $22,000. So zoom out, man. Just zoom the fuck out and stop playing these little levels to levels shit. Not gonna lie to you, it's probably gonna get you chopped up. I guarantee you, more people lost money in this range than up here, because the buy the dip opportunity up here was still valid. Over here, it's sell the fucking pump opportunity. So it's not, just zoom out. It's not worth it, man. If we get up here, short it. If we get down here, long it. That's how I'm playing it. And then in between, which is the VWAP over here, just long the range low. So now in between this VWAP, I'll show you guys something here. Check this out. Okay, so in between the VWAP, this is your VWAP, right? Right, so let's put a low time frame indication right here. This is going to say low time frame V, okay? I'll show you guys something cool. Now, look, price has been respecting this line up and down, up and down, up and down. We deviated it. Wait, oh shit. We deviated, came back above. retested, broke above, consolidated, broke down, rejected, came back down, right? So we've been just jerking around. It's acting like a magnet up and down. So we're still fucking range bound, guys. We still are range bound. We are still range bound. We're not. Personally speaking, the price action is very bearish. It's disgusting. It's age. I'm confused as fuck when it comes to like low time frame. That's why I'm not giving my analysis out because I don't want to give the wrong bias. Now people have been short the bounce ever since the top. Those are the same fucking people that were shorting this whole fucking move up here, this whole move up here, this whole move over here. Come on, like, you know, it's gonna eventually work, right? A lot of people on CT have been shorting, literally have been shorting since the 55k range. Tonight it's the top because of the high time frame bull dips, right? We had some serious high time frame bull. I think it was a 3D that started them all. Yeah, right here. So on the RSI, we've been having bull divs. Oh, sorry, bear divs. I popped bear divs since here. So everybody started on CT. Everybody was shorting from here and shorting from here. This whole bounce up was being shorted. So like, yo, dude, what the fuck, right? You can eventually get it right. Makes sense. But those who have shorted the 64 and the 59k top, you did very well for yourselves. You should be proud because that is a massive move to the downside. But let's put a little bit of a okay. But if you really do think that we are gonna go to the teens from here, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where price is heading. I don't know what to expect. The only thing that I know what to do is that I'm playing the VWAPs because I've back tested this theory. It works. My next area of interest where I'm saving the rest of my fiat is for down here, right? I'm gonna make a box right here. This is my next area of interest down here. I'm ignoring everything in between here. I'm ignoring everything over here. I might add maybe 10% when we get down to when we sweep this low. If we sweep it, the 27k low, I might add 10% just so we can get a retest of at least like $37,000. But otherwise, guys, if we do happen to break down out of this whole range, you see how this is still in the range? Dude, we're gonna go fucking low. I can't see this consolidation stopping us from fucking going down to the 20s, right? So I really hope everybody protects themselves. I hope everybody is playing this very smart and safe. Shorts have been getting a free ride down. It is safer to short than it is to long, for sure. And the selling has been relentless, man. So I just, the only thing I could tell you is that, but even if you look at oscillators itself, right? Even if you look at oscillators, all the pivots have been sold into. We got a 12-hour pivot the other day. We got a beautiful move up from 29,000 all the way up to like 35 or whatever it was, 35, right? And then we reject that mid, right? Which is valid if you're bearish. But dude, if you can't give me a higher low right now to go back up, and then that would lead me up to come like somewhere up here, there's a problem. And let me tell you another thing. The algorithm, which is dark green and pink, works off of momentum, right? Like basically volume. So the buy volume has to be massive enough to turn this red, and the sell volume has to be massive enough to turn this green. That's just the way it works. It's the opposite, right? So the buy volume was so big during this run up that it exhausted us. The buy volume was so big during this run up that it exhausted us. So look at this whole move up. We didn't even turn red. That's how weak we were. That means that the volume was fake. There's a guy in our Discord, Irmo, who knows OBV very well, and he was telling me the whole time, Luca, OBV is not moving and the price is going up. Well, luckily I had exited over here because it was the monthly VWAP, so I was already exiting before that, even before his OBV indication. But for those who don't have the RSX, just look at the OBV, right? If the daily OBV is going down and price is going up, there's a fucking problem. You know, if you're in the Discord, the main person to ask about the OBV is Irmo. He knows that shit in and out, man. So God bless that guy. Any questions you have, ask Irmo. He's been literally shorting this whole range. He's been playing this beautifully. I have not. I must have made only $20,000 or $21,000 in shorting from up here. Literally, from April until now, I've only made shorting this like 21k. Meanwhile, everyone's making like fucking six figures, right? Because they're riding the shorts down. I'm more in the buy the dip mode, even though it's not a dip to buy. But I'm still stuck in that buy the dip mode, so that I can exit at the monthly VWAP, than to actually short the top. You know, it's pretty bad the way I'm thinking, but I'm just trying to get my account back to all-time highs to get out. Anyway, so if you look at the oscillators, guys, even the 12 hour, for example, you see how this is just going in and out, zigzags. It's not really giving you a clear, a clear read, man, at all. Like the fucking look at the daily, RSX, right? We try to curl in, we tried to like pivot to the top side, so we made our pivot to the bottom, which is massive, and then we made our second pivot, which is great. And then we got rejected, and now we're going for a third pivot. So if this goes down like this, it's game over, man. Bulls are gonna be fucked for fucking weeks, unfortunately, dude. So we need this thing to curl back up ASAP and cross ASAP. Weekly, obviously, those who are in Discord know my bias on the weekly. This is your buy zone. I don't care who you are, what you do. This is absolutely a buy zone. Buy zone. Oops. Buy zone. Highly recommend that you start looking for longs when we're in here, right? This is your buy zone. Let's go to BTC log. Yeah, every time BTC comes to this blue box, it forms a bottom. Literally, it does form a bottom, right? Even if it's a temporary bottom, should give you at least an 100% move to the top side, right? Move to the top side. These didn't really touch it, but this is so close to the blue box. That's why I keep telling people when the weekly pivots, I'm going to be fully back into the market. Basically back to scalping, back to trading, playing level to level. Right now, I can't, man. Like this whole week, look at the weekly. It went all the way from up here. January. So this whole move up, this distribution, this whole move up from up here, January, just died. Now look at the 2 week. Look how bad the 2 week looks. Same thing over here. You pivoted. The 2 week actually caught the top itself. And we just died. We didn't even do a right shoulder, which I'm still expecting, right? I'm still expecting something along the lines of this. And then that'll be the real death. That'll be your 1, that'll be your 2, that'll be your 3 tops. And then that would end up being a massive dump to come all the way back somewhere down here. The way we did over here. The way we did over here. If you ever see the 2 week down here, it's an instant buy. Sell your house too while you're at it. Until then, man, you know, pick up a side gig. Work, chill, hang out with your wife, your kids, your loved ones. Go out, meditate, refresh your brain, come back energized, and tackle the charts again. I just don't see the edge in playing this fucking market right now. I don't. There isn't anything that I can tell you guys that looks good on my end. Are we close to a bottom? Maybe. But who the fuck am I to say that, right? Who am I to say that? I don't know. Based on the oscillators, yeah, we're very close. Look at this 5 day. That's a 5 day head. If we cross up, that's a fucking valid 5 day head. What happens to 5 day heads? I'm pretty sure you guys don't know what 5 day heads are. Look at the last 5 day head that we had over here. It went from 6,000, I think it was. Yeah, all the way up to 10 maybe. Yeah, $4,000 move. What's the percentage gain? Almost 100%. 67%. Where would that put us if we go 67%? Let's see. There you go. Back up to that. Also, let me show you this. BTC USD. Let's go to Coinbase. I don't want to make the video too long because I'm sounding very repetitive, but I want to give you guys at least my thoughts. Those who think that we're not going to go back to retest that, I think, are in denial. That's your breakdown, right? That's your breakdown. This level right here is a breakdown. You can go to any time frame you want. Weekly, 2 week. There you go. 2 week. There you go. That's your breakdown, man. So regardless of where we go from here, whether we go down and fill all this nonsense, you're still going to have to come back up to retest this. Which is valid to do that. And then that'll be your lower high. And then at that point, if this is your low, not your lower high, then you could target lower, right? But you still need your lower high on the macro. We didn't make a lower high in the macro at all. We just dumped. Literally, we really did just dump. TMA bands. We tapped the top of the 2 week. The mid is at 22,000, which also has confluence with the VWAP, which makes me think that we're probably most definitely going to go to 22K, unfortunately. Look what we did last time. We hugged it for like a year. I don't know what this was, June to November, almost a year. 6 months. We broke down to 3K, accumulated in the buy zone, which right now is at 16,000 to 11,000. Jesus Christ. And called it a day. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly TMA green zone is 20,000 to 27,000. So similar to this, unfortunately. But yeah, this is crazy that we're not even going to retest. Ideally, you need to go retest the top of this band, and we haven't done so yet. Let's go to lower time frame. We broke under the 5-day completely. Yeah, it's not looking too good, man. The 6-day too. We were not supposed to lose the 6-day. Unfortunately, we did. Let's go to the daily. Where's the daily now, guys? Wow. The daily's coming lower and lower. Look at the daily. 39,000. So imagine this now. Right? Imagine that. Where this is your range that you're playing with right now. Because the daily is going to, no matter what happens, the daily is going to offer a fucking slap, unfortunately, for us. There's no way around that, guys, you know? Unfortunately, there's no way around that, man. So, uh, 12-hour deviated, came back under. Usually you go retest it before you go lower. It's pretty weird. We have yet to touch the red zone in the 12-hour. That has to come too as well. But the most important one is the 2-day. I've been preaching this for a while. You never start a bear market without retesting the 2-day. So let's assume this is your range. Distribution to the top side, where you don't revisit, whatever. And now we're just basically making lower lows, just drifting and bleeding down until you find support. Let's put on your fib levels. Take off log because it's useless. Yeah, 27.4 is the next level of interest, which is the 1.786. And then after that, it's the 23,000, which is the second extension, the 2.0 extension. 786 is to the top side. Yeah, guys, this is legit. This 2-day is legit. If you look at it from a macro perspective, for us to get up here, let me put on this. That's also the monthly VWAP. What do we have to do? So we cannot close the weekly candle under 32.2. But we also can't close a weekly candle under 34.7. That's the monthly VWAP. Unless we create a deviation like we did on this side. Look what we did over here on the 3-day. We deviated and started an uptrend, but we came from the bottom and we deviated. So that's telling. So one can say that we tried to deviate here and then we failed, but I'm not taking that into consideration. Go to your 2-day. It'll look better on the 2-day. There you go. See this? So now what happens if we're doing the same kind of deviation like we did over here? Less probability, guys, again, because we're coming from the top down versus coming from the bottom up. This is less of a probability of being played out. But I still have to tell you guys what happens if we do something like this, right? Which is still, smaller chance of it happening, but it could happen, guys. It could happen. It could happen. There's a reason why all these wicks to the downside are taking place. Now, let's go to the previous past. So I want you guys to see something. When you see stuff like this, high time frame wicks, okay? Let's go over here. High time frame wicks, okay? High time frame wicks. High time frame wicks. High time frame wicks. Some more high time frame wicks. And where else do we see high time frame wicks? Right here, right here, right here. And this is all an uptrend, so it doesn't really count. Let's go in the past. here, more high time frame wicks, more high time frame wicks. What else? That's pretty much it, guys. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys, if you look at it from a past perspective, when the fuck did we make a lower low after we had high time frame wicks? Right? When did we make a lower low after we had multiple high time frame wicks? See, you can count this as high time frame wicks, but you can't really say much because this is where your liquidity rested this wick over here, right? There's an order block here. So show me where, right? Where we always made a move up. Oh, this one went up. These wicks are valid too. Went a little bit up and died. But overall, guys, most of the time, when BTC does these high time frame wicks, it pumps. It pumps, right? Previous monthly VWAP. That's my next high time frame buying, guys. This is a monthly this is the previous monthly VWAP that took place in January, I think it was, or January or whenever the fuck it was, February. But that's my next buy-in, just to keep that on the chart for you guys, between $22,000 and $24,000. Again, so every time we have these high time frame wicks, we usually get a move to the top side, right? So I am being optimistic. Man. I'm being optimistic. You don't get these wicks unless there's someone absorbing the buys. Now, have you guys ever taken this into consideration, that price is deliberately being sold into and being brought down so that spot could buy everything up? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not here to predict. All I'm saying is I'm more into finding a bottom than I am into shorting, unfortunately. Is there a wedge in play right now? Let me see. Hold on. Put it right here. Do candle? No. So it doesn't. You can't even do a wedge. It's a 12-hour. Oh, you could do it in 12-hour. There you go. Yeah. So 12-hour has this type of. Oh yeah, this usually breaks to the top side, guys. To the top side. Okay, so if you're looking at it from a micro perspective, you obviously know what we got to do. We got to get above this over here. Get above black, and then you could easily target range high. Make this gray. So open up the VWAP, put on your weekly. Where's the weekly? Boom, there you go. See how beautiful that is? So get above this. Oops, sorry. Get above this black, and then you target the weekly. But we have a VWAP that slapped us in the morning, man. Can you see? Weekly VWAP. Where is it? Go to your lower time frame so you can see it. Did it slap us? Yes, it slapped us in the morning right there, unfortunately for us. So get above the weekly VWAP, the current weekly VWAP. I'm assuming get above the. Once you get above the weekly VWAP, see if we can close the daily candle above $35,000, which is unlikely. You have fucking not even 8 hours, 9 hours. Not gonna happen. More likely than not, we're gonna end up closing the weekly and the daily very bearish, unfortunately for us. Today's Saturday, so we got 24 hours for the weekly. Very scary. And that's pretty much my analysis for BTC, guys. The oscillators, I'm not going to waste my time going over them because they're just going in and out. This is not an oscillator environment, unfortunately, unless you're looking at really high time frame. If your weekly pivots, go all in. I'm waiting for the 5-day to pivot, personally speaking, because this is going to be a beautiful 5-day head. If this thing pivots and this crosses, we're going to bare minimum go over here, and that's going to be at least bare minimum 30% move. Nah, more, man. 40% move, easy. It's a 5-day candle, man. Yeah. So, guys, that's how I'm playing BTC. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Take some time off with your family and spend some time with your kids, your loved ones, your girl, whatever you do. I don't know who you hang out with, but at the end of the day, it's not. What are you fucking watching right here? This is worse than watching. What are you watching? Think about it, right? We're just wasting our time with this. So, be careful trading this chop. If we do happen to go lower, again, like I told you guys, this is my range that I'm playing on a high time frame. Did I delete it? There we go. So range high, range low, range high, range low. In between is just, we hope that these stick, in other words. And we need to keep this fucking low. We got to hope that this low does not break, unfortunately. And remember, this is your current. I'm going to zoom out one more time. I'm going to write this current previous monthly VWAP, which means that this is the one that's holding us up right now. And look where it's at. Look where the VWAP is at. We completely broke under on the weekly time frame, unfortunately. It's the first candle that's under the weekly time. Let's get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. First weekly candle under it. This is a big problem. Okay? Big problem. So ideally we need to see us get back above this, reclaim this on a weekly time frame, 34.5, and then the weekly VWAP, the monthly VWAP will still act like support. Otherwise, the next VWAP under this, if we don't deviate it, is $22,000. And the one above it is 44, 45,000. Anything in between is just noise to me. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry that I've been MIA. It's just not something that I like to. I don't enjoy cheating this chop. Trade safe. DMs are always open. And I'll catch you guys in the Discord.